9:01. We are 1 minute late. Sorry about that, folks, for those that were waiting, although there was only one or two people that saw we were fixing to go live.
There you go. I still got to go get the breakout chat so you can fill time.
We will. Bart ran and grabbed the bottle. Talk a little bit about the Bunnahabhain Phage, the Phage bottling. It was 2018 release, 59.5%, if I remember right. 12 years old, 11 or 12 years old.
I'm not sure I can find it.
Moynier. Could find what?
The bottle may have been consumed.
Oh, right. Hey, Daniel.
May have been consumed already or something. I don't know.
Kind of a last minute impromptu live here during the Chiefs and the Patriots game. Looks like the Chiefs just scored. New England was up 24-9 at halftime. Chiefs just scored, making it 24-16. The Phage, Troy Forsh asked. The Phage and the Festival of Isla. Craft Beer Pours is tuning in. Haven't seen you before. Thanks for coming. Tom R., William Slattery, Stephen Lang, Louis Sanchez, Moose 76, Duncan Harmsworth. Everybody's starting to filter in here a little bit.
Louis. I've also got a Puerto Rican nephew that's moving into our house for a little while on Tuesday.
Oh, really? You have not told me that.
Yeah, that was kind of my wife wants her entire family to move into our house. He's a good guy. He's got out of the Marine Corps, and I was actually trying to get him to come here and work for our company for a while, but he's going to work overseas for a while, I guess.
Zach Andrews is here. Jason Coates up in Manhattan. He's coming down for the anniversary next weekend. We've got a coin for him that he purchased online. He said to save and give it to him in person.
Well, George, Scott wanted me to bring the Bunnahabhain on to the show, but I had a hard time finding it. I've got so many bottles, it's been misplaced.
You found it.
What?
Paul Dewar's tuning in. Tolv Thomas 12.
Zach.
Big Dog. Jared Oz. Hey, Jared, haven't seen you tune in before. Thanks for coming along. Travis H.
Paul says he likes your hat.
Christine Dims. I think he's talking about your hat.
What? This is run of the mill.
Charles Drinking Caveman is tuning in. I wish Charles could make it down here next weekend for the gathering. That'd be a good one.
That would have been good.
Kevin Maotto. Barrel Strength Gentleman. Howdy. Bobby Parnell. Bobby's going to be here next week.
Woohoo. You actually drinking coffee out of that mug?
I got ice water in here. And Bobby, did I say Bobby Parnell? He's going to be here. Eric Waite is coming from California. He'll be stopping by next weekend, Friday and Saturday night. We'll be doing some lives, as well as Mark and Drew from the Scotch 4 Dummies. They're coming down to hang out with us for a little bit. So it's going to be a good time.
Wish you could smell that.
There's Bill, the whiskey dick, tuning in. Now, Bart, Bill sent us his coins. You know, we got our coins. Bill got his coins. I'm holding number 57 right here for you.
Ooh, 57 Chevy.
Yeah, he sent that just for you. So I've got number 58.
Beautiful. Love the Bookers.
Yeah.
Paul says keep trying.
Keep trying what? Try to get your Puerto Rican family to move in there with you?
I think the hat guess. He's good. Yeah, they're moving in whether I like that or not. We got a spare room, so.
Stephen Lang says, hey, Bart, you can be my divorce lawyer anytime. He busted a gut watching that video. You must be talking about when you got divorced there and kept everything in the house.
Well, what it turns out, the secret is you want the current wife to make any deal necessary to get away from you clean. That's what you need. Apparently, I got that. Apparently, I got that going on. It was
that's not good.
Right. Yeah, I want a divorce. Well, I don't want one. You can take everything you want. Just let me out. I want out. That's what happened there.
Let's see that. Pull up that Bunnahabhain Phage.
You keep talking about it. I believe that is mythical.
You know, you know how many people want samples of that after our review? We probably shouldn't have praised it as much as we did.
Boom. That's why it's over here.
Was it, look at the dates. Was it 11 years old, 13 years old, 59.5%?
2007.
Until 18?
Yep. Bottle 1261.
Troy Forsh asks, name an entry scotch that is sweet with a touch of smoke. Highland Park 12.
Yeah, there you go. Because the touch is where I have the hard time.
Yeah, you do.
I have a hard time with the touch of smoke.
Paul Dewar asks if we know about the Glendronach 15 revival coming out. We do. Roy Aquavitae just did a nice live stream the other day highlighting the differences. The old bottling of the revival was exclusively matured for 15 years in Oloroso, Spanish Oloroso sherry casks. The new version is both Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez matured. So still 15 years, just matured in two kinds of casks.
That's a 5-year Lafroig in there, brother.
Nope. Yeah, you didn't pour the Bunnahaven?
Nope. Single cask nation.
I've got I've got the Auchentoshan 3-wood. Or is it the triple wood from Auchentoshan?
I will not touch the Bunnahaven. I will not touch that. Can you see? You need to mark it. If I move it, you can't really see how much liquid's in there. We'll leave that.
Amy W. is here. Her notifications must be working finally.
Woohoo!
She kept claiming like, oh, she missed the notification or she didn't get one. I think she just wasn't wanting to watch. But
right. She got wore out on the dummies.
Wes Jolly is tuning in. And, you know, we got coins from Wes Jolly as well. He's got the Proper Pour Whiskey Club in Colorado Springs.
I recognize the Colorado symbol.
Yep. Wes is coming back this weekend as well. He'll be here, and he's bringing some of those Stranahan special releases for us to try.
The kind of snowflake you like to be around.
Snowflake, and then he had one or two other bottlings as well that he's bringing.
Bart, what is your favorite peated sherry scotch? Well, it's going to be this Bunnahaven. That's what it's going to be. Because before that, I don't know if I would have. I have some favorite peateds. I would have had to think about sherry. What was that? My favorite, because that was my favorite sherry peated scotch. I don't know if this easily now.
I'm looking back up through the commenters. Jason Fisk is here. Brolic Whiskey, Tom R, Whiskey Ace, Santa Cruzin, Frank Lampard. Frank is going to be here next weekend as well.
I may have read it wrong, but I think Whiskey in the Six says he actually likes my hat better.
If Whiskey in the Six is here, he will like my hat.
Maybe I read it wrong.
And your comment that you addressed was from Ryan Roberts. And that was a good question about the favorite peated sherry scotch. In fact, I haven't seen Ryan tuning in before, so thanks for coming along. Now, I'd say, yeah, that Bunnahaven, now that's a Fagiel bottling. The Ardbeg Dark Cove is right up there with it. That's a special bottling you may not find. What about a normal release?
I know. I couldn't think of one. Yeah.
Oogidale, Ardbeg Oogidale.
Yeah, the Oogies. Yeah.
Now, it's heavy, though. It's heavy peat, and some of the sherry starts to come through on it.
You know, I was thinking on that earlier question, too, but I don't remember what the sweetness level was, but the Talisker 10 is a very good, I think, lighter, sweeter peated whiskey. That was like the first peat that I liked, and it's just a hint. Well, it's more than a hint, but for me, it's pretty light now.
George Kaplan is tuning in. Hoyt Hemphill. Hoyt's going to be here next weekend with us, hanging out as well. For those that are interested, you can go to scotchtestdummies.com. There's an events tab. We've got details up about next weekend, the 19th and the 20th of October is our 5-year anniversary. And we've got we're doing a steak tasting or a steak dinner and a Scotch Malt Whiskey Society tasting on Friday night.
Bam.
Details on the website. Then Saturday night's more of a casual hangout at a barbecue patio store. It's bring your own bottle in, and there's tickets available. Cousin Shane will be here singing. Shakes Pennington on the guitar, and thanks to Whiskey in the Six.
Oh,
Oh, and And Zach Andrews.
Whoa, look at that.
Scott Whiskey in the Six says that my hat wins by a landslide. Zach Andrews says, thanks again for reviewing my bottle, guys.
Oh,
That was a Boona. That's another Boonahaven. That was a signatory independent bottling. Who else we got tuning in? I'm trying to give most people recognition here. We appreciate everybody coming along.
Well, Ryan said long-time viewer, first time catching us live.
Moose 76. I saw him comment up there a little bit ago. Chad Adams. Better late than never. I agree. The wizard is never late. He arrives exactly when he intends to. There's Eric Waite. He'll be here. Heidi, Heidi, ho, he says. The dogs are tuning in, Barto.
I saw the dogs. Ooh, ooh.
I've already won my fantasy game, but I do have Sony Michel playing right now, the New England running back, and he's already got 2 touchdowns. So he's just adding to my point total.
And you've already won.
Mm-hmm.
That's your family one that you do?
Yeah.
Got it.
Night, Rob. Thanks for coming along, for tuning in.
Yeah. He's out. He's got to teach in the morning.
Back to sherry peated scotches that are, what would you say, readily available. Still thinking.
And Travis says, is the normal Dark Cove good versus committee release? I like the CR better, but it's still very good.
Yeah, it is. I would agree. Side by side, take the committee release every day. But
yeah,
if all you can get is the regular release, nothing wrong with that at all.
Ooh, Voisin's got some Supernova. That's another real good Ardbeg there. I love that one.
Jesse's going to be here next week as well.
Yep. I think
a lot of people.
He's coming in Thursday even, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Matter of fact, yep.
Ooh. For a second there, I thought Paul said he was peeing. There's a T in there. I thought he was running off to go pee and was just letting everybody know. Eric Waite, bad news. Mr. Hanky was exiled and banned from this year's Christmas pageant. Oh, Lordy.
Travis H. drinking Lagavulin 12, 2017 edition.
Ooh,
that's crazy. Mike is drinking Glendronach Cast Strength Batch 6.
I will tell you there's some cardboard boxes on the floor over there because I had to move stuff out of the guest room into here.
Oh.
That's been interesting. We had to make that more fitting. Luckily, it's only for 3 days.
Also, if you've noticed, I did get my shelves expanded back here behind me. I used to have 3 floating shelves up here. I was always worried about them. I thought I'd come down here someday and find all my whiskey smashed on the floor. Floating shelves pulled out of the wall. So I've expanded my shelves that I built over there with 3/4 inch piping over. Much better now. I've got more room, a lot more bottles. It should last me another 6 months or so.
Bam. 6 months. That just means you need to drink faster.
Yeah. I'm not, you know what? Someone had commented the other day, I hate killing off a bottle. Just because I haven't, there's so much here, and I can go to something else. So why not save that last couple of ounces of something just in case we want to compare it or just go to it later, or whatever.
Well, that is kind of true. But like I was running out of room and I had a couple heels that could be easily slayed.
Yeah.
But I'll admit they weren't rare birds either. So.
Ryan Roberts says it looks like I need a whole shelf for those ECBPs, Elijah Craig barrel proofs. That's one probably my favorite bourbon that you can find.
Yes. It's my favorite bourbon.
Still, it comes out 3 times a year. You do have to hunt for it and look around. At least, we've seen it in or around our parts here, Wichita, Kansas. We see it in Oklahoma, down into Texas.
Somebody didn't see one in Oklahoma.
Now, I don't think it sits on the shelf too long, but usually when I find it, I pick up a bottle, and I've got I just bought another one the other day, the C batch for this year that came out in September showed up. So I've got all three from this year right up here. A, B, C.
Have you tried them?
A has been opened. I think that's the only one.
I think I still got a C of mine over at your place, don't I?
Which one was that? A C from last year? Probably. Once you pay, if you ever pay me for it.
Whatever the better one is.
Might trade you for that Bunnahabhain Fagile bottling.
Yeah, there you go. I think Whiskey Scout found 3 of them. Told me like, yeah, Scott's got yours, and I've never seen it.
No, I paid him, and I told you as soon as you pay me, you got one.
I told him, don't give them to Scott. I will pay you for them myself. And then he was like, whoop, whoop.
Back to the shelves, though. So there's 2 videos up about, I don't know if it was even 6 months ago or so. I did this section over here. I did a couple of things, and so that's part 1. If you search on YouTube how to build whiskey shelves, there's a part 1. And then the new edition, I just did another shorter video, part 2. It doesn't go into as much detail as the part 1, but I made a couple of modifications, really for the better. You know, you do something and you kind of learn, or something you want to try to make it better. I think it paid off on this one. So,
what do you double lacquer? What'd you do?
Well, no, one of the things when I did this one, the original one, I didn't know if 2x12s would fit. I had 12-inch sections of pipe to go from the outer support to the wall, but I didn't know if that counted the threading on the pipes or not. So I thought, well, once I thread them into the T-joints and the wall flanges, how much will I have? So I bought 2x10s over here. 2x12s will work. So I got 2x12s over here. Gives you a lot more surface area, actually.
Yeah, Whiskey Scout doesn't recall. I believe this is the one, Whiskey Scout, where you called me and I didn't even know if I'd had the C or not yet. You were deeply offended because I was not up on my letters of ECBP. And then Scott was like, Bart don't know. Bart don't know.
We had literally just bought batch B, I think, like that week.
Whatever. All I know is I got a call. Hey, you got the C? I'm like, yeah, I think we got it, but I like it. I'll get it. It's ECBP. And then you were like, we haven't had it. I want all of them. I was like, what? What are you talking about?
All right, so let's transition. Tom R is asking if there's an Elmer T. Lee. There is here, and I just got another bottle again the other day, a new bottle. Really? And I had to pay $45 for the new one, which is doable. I think it's a good bourbon. Unfortunately, it's hitting some of these secondary markets. Is it worth? And I've seen it for $100. No. If you have the money, if you want to try it, go ahead. But it's a good bourbon. $50 really top max, if you can find it for that. That's just like Weller's 12. Weller's 12 is selling upwards of $200. That's just crazy.
That's stupid. There's a lot of good bourbon out there, but yeah, the ECBP is really my favorite. Old Whiskey Scout did find me that old that 1.75 that still had the 12-year on it.
Yeah,
and, man, I love that. I go to that more than I go to the ECBP, and it's delicious. It's killer. The straight up old 12-year.
Well, and I hear there's a lot of parts of Canada where they still are finding the Elijah Craig 12 small batch.
Yeah, it's good. I know what they're doing.
Eric Waite says that we can lock our Bunnahabhain Fagile up in a safe because he's going to bring his bottle that he has.
Woo.
Next week. I keep saying next week or next weekend. It's actually this. Well, it is. I guess it is next weekend. This week, next weekend, we'll be seeing everybody.
Friday, Thursday, some people showing up. I've got Thursday off. You've got Thursday off.
Yeah, we'll be rounding, doing some last minute details, rounding some stuff up. Probably even try to hang out. I think there's a few people coming in on Thursday. Maybe we might be at I might be at the motel Thursday night. Maybe hang out for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I think I'll be there too. My wife knows. She was supposed to be out of town all week. That's been changing too. Yeah, there's a couple work things she's got going on, but so I was going to be Mr. Mom all week until Thursday. So
I see Sippers Social Club is joining us. Jeremy up in Canada. Thanks for coming. Check out his channel. Matter of fact, Sippers Social Club.
You saw the mash and drum there. Hey, dummies. Hey, everyone.
I did not see Jason, the mash and drum, yet. We had a lot of people tuning in.
What's our numbers? I don't see them.
Whiskey Ace 71 right now. Wow. Whiskey Ace. Richie Z.
Fist says $300 in New York City for Weller 12.
Isn't that it's crazy? That's ridiculous. And Tom R points out that Weller 12 is a very good bourbon for $35. It is.
Yeah.
Now, and we did it. I was surprised, by just the green label special reserve.
Yeah.
And we just did it a couple months ago. We'd never done it.
That was very good.
And so, but at that time we pulled out the Weller 12 next to it to see what the difference was. There is a noticeable difference. The Weller 12 is much better. Now, actually, that one, so we had a state of Kansas or Kansas Select single barrel that they did, Weller, and picked this up over at our store. And then I'd heard, when we were eating with Josh Carey from All Things Barbecue, he had said there was a second bottling from Wheat State that was much better. And I happened to find one of those the other day. So a Wheat State single barrel. Yeah. Now, I haven't gone side by side yet, but initially it did really seem quite a bit fuller.
Huh.
And those are still only $18.
Yeah. Let's see how long that lasts.
Eric Waite will be here at 11:45 on Friday.
Santa Cruzan said it's the frenzy before next weekend. That's right. This is virtual. The next one will be not virtual.
Jason Fisk has seen Weller Antique for $350. That's crazy. Homer Simpson tuning in.
It's always good at Homer.
Chris Kirby tuning in. Haven't seen Chris before. Weller in my area for around $40. Should buy out my local shop and sit on it for a while. Is that the Weller 12 or just the Weller Special Reserve? I know even the Special Reserve is hard for some people to find in some areas. Some areas, even just the green label Weller Special Reserve is allocated. We can pretty much walk into any store here and find it. We got half gallons here for $31, $32 of the Weller Special Reserve.
But whiskey's blowing up all over.
Yep, that is true. You know what no one has. I've been waiting for somebody to ask me about one of my bourbon shelves here, and I've got mostly the display bottles out, some higher end stuff, and right smack dab in the middle of my bourbon shelf is the Jim Beam repeal batch. I've been waiting for somebody to say, "Why do you have the Jim Beam repeal batch in there?"
That's good.
It was pretty good. And I just like the bottling and the label of it looked pretty nice too. So I threw it in there.
I was clearing my throat. I'm sure it looked good.
I saw you muted yourself. I thought.
Yeah, I was about ready. It was like a fur ball.
I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, muted.
What else? Just looking down here through the questions. Not much. We were going to talk about the Bunnahoven. That was a good video. Very good. The Fagio Mounier Oloroso.
Mounier.
We got the our 5th anniversary gathering coming up the 19th and the 20th.
I'm looking forward.
That's crazy as asking. This is the 36-year Tomatin that we bought for the end of the 12 Hours of Boom. So now we are supposed to be having one of the their distillery only port. Was it the port casking? We're supposed to be getting a bottle of that.
Well, it's been set aside. We got to get over there.
Richie, I have the 23-year Rhetoric. Or no, wait, no, I do have the 22. No, I got the 23. I've passed on the 24 this year. I haven't picked it up just because really of the money. I haven't seen it cheaper than $150, and I don't want to spend that much for it.
Now, how did your looks like you still got a little scratch on your face?
Yeah, it's still there. It's healing up a little bit, taking a while. Bart attacked me the other day.
Yeah. I'm fierce. Like a tiger.
Hey, Shimon. I see Shimon's tuning in. He says we need to do a side-by-side with both of the Meunier. We only have the one, and that's the Fagile bottling. Yeah, last year, Brooke Lottie did have a Meunier Oloroso release that came out. I think it was a 14-year. We never seen it.
Saw it.
We never saw it?
Right.
And it's Case Keenum, by the way. That's why I decided to correct you, because you're always correcting me. So I thought I'm going to correct him.
Well, that was just a spelling deal and pronunciation.
Keenan, you really threw me with that first. I thought you sent me a wrong text. You were sending somebody else about somebody playing a board game.
Well, you must. I'm glad you've seen it.
Somebody or Denver Broncos quarterback this year is Case Keenum. Bart texted me earlier. He says Keenan with an N on the end. Keenan is really slow with his reads. Looks a best behind.
Is there a typo in there?
Yeah.
It's probably voice to text. Hold on.
At first I was thinking Keenan. Who is Keenan?
Making it up.
I thought you were playing a board game with somebody and you sent me the text in error.
Uh-huh. Let me see. Where's that text? I did have Keenan in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Looks a bit behind is what that was supposed to be. That was an autocorrect. Looks a best behind. Looks a bit behind is what that was supposed to be. He was off. His reads.
We had Roy in Denver sent us this as well. Just a partial bottling. He'd sent us a couple in the past, or arranged for us to get, as we like to say. But so the McAllen Estate Reserve, we need to do a review on sometime, Bart.
Yeah, when did that come in?
A couple weeks ago.
Oh.
45.7%. I haven't even snuck a taste of it yet.
Really? The green spot is good. What was that green spot we had over at the Whiskey Vault? They had a real limited green spot. That was
one of the wine casking ones.
That was tasty. I would have ran out of there with that one.
Oh, Shimon says the Signatory heavily peated Meunier. Those two are nothing alike.
Mm-mm.
No.
Nope.
Completely different.
Oh, Lordy.
Expel 23, he says he can't find the cast strength version of the Redbreast. He'll try the green spot and the Sexton's next. If I don't like the Sexton, at least the bottle is cool. Teeling, single malt. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
The Redbreast Lustau edition, if you can find it.
Very affordable, too.
Which one? The Lustau?
The Teeling.
The Teeling single malt runs about 50, 55, I believe. The Lustau edition's up to like 75 now, I believe.
Ooh, Frank says 5 people coming Friday from the Wichita Whiskey Club.
Yeah, we've had a few of them. I think we just had one come in tonight.
Wow.
Sean.
Good. So I keep wondering if the Wichita Flight Club will be in there too. I thought they would all come to that.
Homer Simpson says, have you guys tried a 24-year-old Highland Park? He just recently picked up a Gordon and MacPhail bottling. Gordon and MacPhail, of course, an independent bottler, they do some outstanding releases. They get some very good casks. We have not had that one, a 24-year-old, but it should not disappoint you. I doubt.
Well said.
Yeah. I got tongue tied there.
That was good.
What was I saying?
Yeah. Well, you were right. Okay, I'm just reading stuff here.
Jared Oz asked, how's the Yellow Spot 12? Ooh. We haven't had the Yellow Spot. It runs about $100, maybe a little bit more in our area, or just under, compared to the Green Spot, which is $20 to $30 cheaper.
Look at
do what?
Look at Russian
IPSC.
Greetings from Russia. Love your reviews.
Rustlin IPSC.
Oh, it's an L. Got it. I saw that. Yeah, that makes sense. There's no double S there. So, but it is. It's Rustlin IPSC. Very cool. I'm in the middle of not that I don't care, but I'm reviewing a game that's from Italy that's all on the Battle of Stalingrad, and then I'm reading a book alongside that. Side note.
Very interesting.
Right. Well, it's Stalingrad, not called Stalingrad anymore. I think it's Volgograd.
Whiskey Ace asks, does anybody recommend West Cork 10? We had West Cork 10, and it's a $30, $35 bottle, I think, in our area. Not bad. It's not outstanding, but it's not bad. It's good. Light, creamy, triple distilled Irish whiskey, no wine influenced casks, anything like that. So it was good. It was good. It didn't disappoint.
Expel 23. I've tried the Teeling Small Batch, Bushmills Black Bush, and Jameson's IPA cask, liking the Teeling the most. Out of those, I would agree. Although I was at an event, and there was a fellow that had his Bushmills Black Bush there, and I really did like it. It kind of grew on me as I sipped on it as well. Let's see. That's crazy. He says, tell us more about the game, Bart. I don't think he's serious. Thomas 12, St. Petersburg. I don't think it was St. Petersburg. I thought it was Volgograd. I don't know. The fellow from Russia can probably tell us.
Yeah, and Eric Wade is pointing out that Green Spot wine cask finished one we had in the vault was probably the same one he shared with Roy in Scotland, and that's the Chateau Leoville Barton.
I think that is it. I couldn't say it.
That's it. I think, if I remember right, too.
I think you're right, because I had one, and then I was like, man, I have another.
And Ryan, we have not done the Highland Park 18. I've thought about picking it up a few times. We still see it in our area. They're 120 to 130 range. And I meant to pick up one of the older bottlings before all the new bottles showed up, and a couple places that had the older bottling of it sold out, and now it's been replaced by the newer bottling. So it moved down on my list. There's so much out there to buy. It's hard to, and doing one Scotch review or one world whiskey a week. We've got a backlog. We got a shelf of whiskeys to try to do. So
yep. Rustlin is from St. Petersburg. Expel 23 wants to know where he can get this wonderful rainbow hat. This is a unicorn.
It's like a sombrero for a door.
Yeah, sombrero. He said this is actually a garden hat, which I've turned inside out, so it's more like a sailor's cap up here. And this was almost had to be purchased because Bruno and I were looking for real odd T-shirts in a Goodwill, and he was like, "I bet you wouldn't wear that on the show." I was like, "Boom! Throw it in the cart." Throw it in the cart. There was a slaughter in Stalingrad. Yes, there was. Not one step back.
Chad Adams is asking, have we had Powers? Early on, I think it was Powers Gold Reserve or something.
I liked it. I mean, it was cheaper, but it was, I liked it.
I don't know that it was even cheaper, was it? I think you picked it up or it was gifted to you.
Yeah, I think it was a little cheaper than normal.
That was we were still up in your kitchen though when we reviewed it, I'm pretty sure. So it was early for us, and I don't remember it being bad, but I don't remember anything about it.
It's funny, we got a backlog, but we've been talking about how we got to go back and hit some of those early ones now that our skills have improved.
John is tuning in, Blind Whiskey Reviews. I did a blind tasting with him, live streaming the other night on his channel. So check out Blind Whiskey Reviews. And I'd sent him or arranged for him to get a sample of Tamdhu batch strength. So he's drinking the rest of that right now. He had a little intro to Scotch the other night.
Good move on your part. What else?
And Kansas City's coming back. They just scored a touchdown. Looks like they'll probably go for a 2-point conversion to tie up the game. They were down pretty good at halftime.
Oh, some of them were scared. See, all the KC fans have been trying to trash on Scott and I for years, and then we like win back-to-back Super Bowls, and then we win another one, and they're all like, dang it. And so now guys I haven't heard from years, like the Denver loses today, and I get a text from one of them, oh, that was too bad. I'm like, where have you been for the last, probably 6 years? So that's been funny.
Chris Kirby wants to know, what's our favorite compass box? His that he's tried has been the Hedonism. The Hedonism is a very good one.
Well,
you know, it's a grain whiskey, so it does come off a little bit lighter than some of the others.
I'll tell you the one that surprised me the most, the double single.
That one is good too. Yeah.
I love the double single. I'm cask mates right now, a little Jameson.
Well, go back to special releases. The Circus is outstanding. The General was outstanding. I just recently opened up Not a Luxury Whiskey, and it really surprised me. I think it's delicious as well. I'm just looking to see what else I got. All the Flaming Hearts have been good. No Name, Phenomenology.
You know, we didn't like the General at first, and I still get a lot of wood, but my palate, I believe, has improved. My palate.
Well, we were really green.
We were. I still got to get a lot of oak on it, but yeah. That we literally like ripped it open and tried it. There was no breathing or anything. Not that you got, take it as it is. Yeah, Travis, I'd asked him too, and it depends ABC from this year. Scott hasn't tried the B or the C yet, just the A. We actually need to see if it's different. That'd be a good show.
Well, I'm trying to think if I've had it anywhere. You might have one of your B's open. I think we looked at A and B. No.
My B is never open.
Richie Z still sees a couple of Phenomenology bottles out there for $189, which isn't too high. I think it was $160 in our area when it came out. It's good, but I think that's pushing it. If you're a Compass Box fan, it's worth it.
Jason.
If you're not a Compass Box fan, you might not like spending that much money for
it. Let's see.
Well, Blind Whiskey Reviews is pointing out he hasn't had one, but he noticed there's a ton of variance in Compass Box pricing from one expression to the next. So, they have a core range out. Great King Street is $35 range. That's the lowest entry. There's a couple variations of it. Then you get into the Oak Cross, Peat Monster, Spice Tree, and Asila used to be in there. They discontinued it. They were all, $40 to $60 range. And then the highest end of their standard release is the Hedonism at $110. Now, a couple times a year, John Glazer does special releases, special blends that he does. And really, it kind of depends on how many bottles they get. Some of those releases, they have like 2,000 bottles of. Those will be a little bit higher. $200 range. And then some of them are, 5 to 10,000 bottles, somewhere in there. And you're down closer to $150 range, something like that. But Most of them, I've been disappointed by Compass Box.
Mash and Drum says his live stream on Wednesday night will compare all the ECBP from this year, A, B, and C. So go tune into that. That sounds good. It's going to be a long night. See, I like how he's actually got it's going to be a long night, like you want to join along.
Looks like Kansas City missed the 2-point conversion. Or no, they just go for one. They just kicked the extra point. They're down by 1 point, 26-27.
Are we talking board games or what? What is that?
No, something most people understand, football. Matt and DD Gardner tuning in. Love the coins. Thanks, Matt. And he ordered one not too long ago.
There you go. Blind Whiskey Reviews is out. He was in, but he's got to go to bed. Or get the kiddos ready for bed. Sorry.
Jasper Ewan, have not seen you tune in before. Jasper, good to have you.
Jasper. Yeah, Broncos are getting beat around here.
What was our bourbon release this week?
That was when we did the blind. It wasn't a bourbon. It was the God dang. Zach Andrews.
Back in Super Chat. Are shirt and coin packages still available to ship for this upcoming weekend? Can't make it, but I'd love to be able to have a memento.
Yes. Basically, what we were doing, a lot of people that can't make it are buying the Saturday deal because $65. They get the coin, the one-of-a-kind coin, the shirt, and then we send the the wristband as well. Not the 2 wristbands, but the 1 wristband. So
that is true. They just get the 1 wristband, wouldn't they? Didn't even think about that.
But if we have extras, because by then the Friday event's over. So if we have extra Friday events, that's the black wristband. We'll send that too, because the Friday show will be over. We'll wait until we'll probably wait to mail those off until we're done with both of these. That way, if we have extra wristbands, we can send those along. Those are kind of neat.
Well, yeah, it started. We had one person that couldn't had bought a ticket and couldn't make it, and we're like, "Well, we'll still send your send you a coin." Now the thing is, though, we had to get the order in for the shirts. We ordered extra, knowing we'd still have some people registering,
right?
And we've already gone through the extra shirts, so we're going to have to place another order. Which they won't be here. I think we have enough for most people that are going to be here for the event.
I think Eric Waite will fit in the small shirt that we have left, though. We've got one small. I
think that's what he ordered. The women's small.
Right, women's small or the tank.
Oh God, he says Eric is selling dances on Friday night. $10 for the ladies and $50 for the guy.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I like my shirts tight. I'm like, I get it. I get it.
Amy W. points out, crazy. George has 16 coins, and we love the handwritten notes. Bart is responsible for the handwritten notes.
Nope. Scott does it. He was just putting little things on there, little sticky notes. I was like, that's actually my handwriting's terrible. Terrible. It's like chicken scratch.
Anyway, well, if you're here though, or if you buy the ticket but you can't make it, the shirts will probably ship later. We'll go through the extras that we have. We're gonna have to, like I said, place an order though for more shirts.
Frank's got me laughing. He says, "Save a woman small for Shaddy."
George is going to find a cash machine just so he can get a dance with Eric Waite.
There you go. There you go. It's medium.
Wes Jolly wants to know if you get a coin for each ticketed event. He knows it's only 1 T-shirt. Inquiring minds want to know. We originally said it's only 1 coin for whether you buy 1 ticket or both. You got one coin for the event. We'll see.
Originally, I thought that's all we've ever said was one coin.
Yeah. We will have some extras, which we will probably only if you were at the event will you be able to buy.
That's kind of what we were talking about. We don't know how many extras, so, but we'll see.
So what did you look up and see? What was? I don't even remember what the Wednesday review was. What was it?
It was the Westland, the blind, wasn't it?
Oh, Shaddy just bought his ticket for Friday night. It was the Westland, yeah. The peated and the sherry.
Yep, you called it. You did not know either. That was a true blind. We don't tell you.
Well, if you hadn't brought them out together, you would have stumped me completely. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, but all the better that you got them once you were tasting the two of them. You picked up the sherry clean, then you got the peat, and you're like, same company. It's got to be West. That was a good call. Then we yanked down the regular one, which surprised me. I'm a big fan of their regular release, the regular American single malt.
Matt and DD Gardner, best wishes from Utah. Really enjoy our videos. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Or Matt or DD. Or Matt and DD. Might be both of you watching. And the Rot Gut review says, hey, first time tuning into a stream. Love our channel. Thank you, Rot Gut. That's what I used to. My dad, when he was alive, drank what I called Rot Gut. That was Ancient Age, not the 10-year-old Ancient Age, which I've heard was pretty good. I'm talking the plastic bottled Ancient Age that was $17 for a handle of it.
There you go. So the 10-year Ancient Age was pretty good. If anybody sees the 10-year Ancient Age, I will buy it myself and surprise Bruno with it.
You know, when we first started, probably 5 years ago, I remember seeing some at Auburn, or maybe it was even before we started the show. Wow. And I always thought about picking it up just for my dad, and that's the only reason I remember it. But I've got Whiskey Scouter. I'd said something. I don't know if he remembers or not. He'd been looking around. I told him to keep his eyes open for Ancient Age 10.
Oh, Eric Wade's typing in Russian. He's using the Google.
I didn't get down to it in Roy's live stream the other day. It's 2 hours long. I've watched the first 30 minutes of it.
What?
But I've heard he said that the new release doesn't hold up to the old one.
2 hours.
2 hours.
That's long. You remember I used to have the first Google Hangout I was invited on this mega YouTube star that does board game stuff. He'll do 3 and 4 hour live streams. I thought that was crazy.
Here's a Scotch for Dummies tuning in, and Matt Lingus. First time catching a live stream, Matt says. Thanks for the content, guys. He's sipping an Enoch 12 right now, which our review helped him find. Very good, very good. Highland 12. Very light, very fruity, very sweet.
Food Quig did a 6 hour live stream.
I think, Simeon De La Vecchia. I think he's had an 8 hour live stream before, which is where YouTube shuts you off.
So you can't just go live in your room and like live there and order pizza and be like, that could be a whole new show. The life of Bruno.
Yeah.
You just live in your house. Pizza shows up, food, whiskey delivered. We come in, little parties happen.
Big Dog's buddy Bud likes Ancient Age to this day, he says.
Huh. Dang, now I want it. I feel like I've been left out. I want the 10-year Ancient Age, and I want to review it.
Captain, make it happen.
Wow.
Hey, everyone. Roy said the revival was good, but the older stock in the old release couldn't be matched.
I like when they drop the G's, man. I love that. Captain, make it happen.
Make it happen.
But Quig streams were epic. Are they past tense now? They're not epic anymore.
Oh no.
He had his wall, which I always thought was actually just a screen printed thing, and then I made him go pick one up. I'm like, that's fake. You don't have all those bottles on your back wall.
Howdy, Loch Ness. Loch Ness just tuned in.
Oh, you're just in time, Loch Ness.
We are ready, Scotch for Dummies. Who's watching? Is that Drew? We are at the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society. Ben Diedrich will be here from Chicago.
Friday.
Scotch Malt Whiskey Society, I believe 5 bottlings in the house.
What we're told is we're scrambling for, that's a lot of glassware. So
did you hear anything on that yet?
You know, the manager has not got back to me because he said he could come up with a whiskey glass for each person, one, a Riedel, and a rocks glass, but that we'd probably have to rinse in between. And I said, but he said he could look for whiskey glass rentals. And I said, if it's reasonable, the Dummies will pay for that so we can have 5 glasses already poured. And I haven't heard back. So
you gotta have Glencairn or some kind of a nosing glass.
Oh, I'm sure. He said they have 2 restaurants that they'll steal glasses from, but he only has 50 of the Riedel single malt. And but he says they have a bunch more of the rocks glasses. But I said if we could actually having, like I said, a Glencairn would be good. And he said, well, there's a glass rental place that they've used for huge events, and he would look into that. I told him as long as the price wasn't crazy, we would pay it. So.
Oh, here we go. Eric Waite and Jesse Voisin both say they're bringing their own Glencairn.
Smart. Very smart. Well, look at that. If everybody packs their own Glencairn or buys one from us, woo, there you go. We'd have to sell out.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to our tasting. You got to buy a Glencairn. That's a good idea, Bart.
I just told you we've got a thing going on. We said we'd even rent the glasses, but yeah, there you go. That's why that was perfect. That'd be the hook. By the way, if you want to drink it, you got to have a glass.
Now, Saturday night at the at All Things Barbecue, it is basically BYOB. Standard Beverage is going to be there. Adam Clary. He said he's going to try to do like a world flight. He's going to have some American whiskeys, some Scotch whiskeys, Japanese whiskeys, Indian, kind of doing around the world type. Have samples out basically for people there. So, but it's also BYOB where you can bring your own bottle in. All Things Barbecue does have a liquor license, but they don't sell liquor. So they said if you can bring it in, but if you bring it, you pour it. Is how they put it. So.
Yep. Now the chef cooking up some little things.
We're coming up just under the hour mark, so I think we better shut this one down, Bart. What do you got?
Shut it down. I'm getting ready to have a little blade and bow, baby, with its own little key. A little blade and bow just sitting right here.
Well, we'll wait a little bit then. Eric Waite says, do you know if they use a rub or a sauce? Wines don't work as well for sauces. Are you talking for the barbecue?
I don't know. They got a chef that does stuff. We are hoping to get on their show. They've got like 100,000 subs, and they'd asked us to come on their show. We were like, yeah, we'd love to.
And the Chiefs just took the lead.
All right. Well, they're a powerhouse, man. And their defense showed up last week. So he says yes for the barbecue.
They do. Well, they wanted to. That's why they wanted to do a show with us, was kind of do a whiskey based smoked meat combination.
Right. They asked for a pairing of a peated and then a non-peated.
But they actually, well, their channel is called All Things Barbecue on YouTube. Mm-hmm. They have a chef there. They do a lot of cooking on their own grills, their own smokers. But they make their own. Well, no, I think they even buy a lot of their rubs. As Josh was telling us, they can try to come up with rubs, or you can take other people's experience and expertise that have put in the time and the willpower to create different rubs and use them. And I know they probably do both, but
I think he said those professional rubs out there are so well done that it's not worth the time. You can go get a phenomenal one right off the shelf. So Zach Andrews says he just ordered my Saturday package. Woohoo!
Nice. Well, good. Thank you, Zach.
Yeah.
I think your wife needs one too, Zach.
There you go. Someone said Red Sox win. Hemphill says I marinate with bourbon. I think that means himself. He just pours bourbon on himself.
Yeah.
That's how I work the smoker. Walk out there and the neighbor's like, what's he doing? He's pouring ancient age all over himself. What? No wonder he buys that big old handle.
And the whiskey dick, he says professional rubs. He's seen advertisements for that in Vegas.
Speaking of that, Scott It, I'll tell you a little story. So we knew a guy who was can I tell the story about the Crisco? Now, it's not dirty. It's not dirty. I'll go vague.
Sure.
So basically, he was a NASCAR fan, and his cell phone was dying. So we had it on the charger upstairs. Apparently, only had one charger. And he's down in his basement just enjoying NASCAR. Well, he was newly married, and he was an older guy, but his wife was panicking. Thought maybe he'd had a stroke or a heart attack because he wasn't answering the phone, and she called him 50 times. So she sends her daughter over there, and she's ringing the doorbell, and he answers, and what? She's like, Mom thought you were dead. And he's like, I'm just watching NASCAR. Then she got on him like really hardcore about how he had to answer his phone whenever. Scott's like, I wouldn't put up with that. I would have covered myself with Crisco and tidy whities and said, what? It's Saturday. NASCAR is on. This is what I do.
Like what?
What? Yeah, the daughter would never come over again. Mom, I'm not getting involved in your business. I'm not going over to your new husband's house and trying to see if he's had a heart attack. He was covered in Crisco watching NASCAR. I don't even want to know what was going on. And what's funny is you and I probably would have done that. It was way over the top. I mean, like he didn't answer his phone for an hour. It was like, what? That happens to Eric Wade all the time. Waiting for the sniper to take a shot.
Hey, if
Whiskey Dick,
if Frank Lampert is still tuning in, what size of shirt does Shaddy need? I'm multitasking here.
It's probably a medium. He said women's small, but Shaddy's a little shorter dude. Maybe a large. The husband was shaving his favorite driver's number in his back hair. Oh, there you go. What's the weather supposed to be? Well, oddly enough, Amy, right now it's very cold, rainy, and windy, but it's supposed to be 61 degrees high, little overcast. Now, that could change because it shows rain on Thursday, actually, but it's supposed to clear up Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, so, I think typical October weather, 50s, 60s in the daytime, which is what we were hoping for, down into the 40s, maybe 50s overnight. So good cigar smoking weather.
Frank says 2XL for Shaddy.
A 2XL?
I think maybe he's got girth. I don't know. Maybe he likes something.
That's just quite a bit of difference from the medium that you probably need.
Well, he's a shorter fella. I thought maybe he just needed a medium. Maybe he likes to wear them like a hockey shirt. I don't know. Hey, I'm heading to NASCAR race in Kansas City after the Dummies weekend. Got me a ticket. Sweet. That's what Wesley Jolly said. That's good. Nothing wrong. I'm not a big NASCAR guy, but I see the appeal.
Is Zach still tuning in? Did he give me his shirt size on here? Oh, he's got a large. Yep, got it.
There you go. Frank said he's a growing lad. So, Bill, this is Matt in Texas, by the way. Says whiskey is the best. So,
oh, that's our Matt Z that ran the tasting down there in Austin.
Oh yeah.
Well, in fact, okay, so next Saturday, or this Saturday, is the 20th. The next Saturday, the 27th, we're doing a live stream with Matt at his place,
right,
in Dallas, and he's going to have a
Brooke
Lottie and a Westland rep there.
Yeah.
He has tastings at his house. So he's got a couple reps that are coming there. And so, like, I think it's 7 p.m. our time, Central. We're going to go live for an hour before his tasting with Brooke Lottie and with Westland.
Oh, yeah. I wish we could have given he's got to tell Brooke Lottie to come on live with us sometime. I couldn't get him. I was cold emailing. I never got nothing. I love Brooke Lottie. So when you got the rep there, Matt, tell him, hey, you got to do a live with the Dummies.
I think he's told him that.
He needs to like slap him around a little bit.
Matt ordered a webcam though, and then a Yeti mic as well, so we'd have good audio, good video. I hooked up with him, and his internet was a little slow. I said, "You're gonna have to get your internet checked out." Boom, and man, he had it upgraded. He says it's rocking now.
Wow. He had a heck of a lineup. Heck of a lineup.
Well, in fact, a couple weekends ago, he had a tasting at his house, and the Liquor Hound was there. Chris.
Wow.
Everybody says that Chris has the Liquor Hound has the biggest whiskey collection in Texas, and Matt has the second biggest whiskey collection.
I thought the Vault had the largest.
I think Matt's is bigger than the Vault's.
Really?
Well, that's a business though. Individual, maybe theirs is bigger. Individual wise though, Matt.
Got it.
And he had plans though next weekend. We was trying to get him to come up and hang out with us as well, bring some more of his whiskey collection up.
Well, he brings it. It was good. He had some good stuff there. Let's see.
Whiskey Scout's just in trouble with the woman, it looks like.
Oh, my.
For next weekend. He said, she said, don't call me after midnight, basically.
Scout, get a room, buddy. Get a room. Play it safe. There's going to be so much hanging out in that lobby. I'm telling you, the tasting's going to be fun. The dinner's going to be good. The hangout afterward, I think, is going to be epic. And, it's such a cool place to hang out right from the get-go. When I saw it down there, I was like, oh, this is the place right here. This is the place. And because it's literally designed. I can't believe they've got all these couches and chairs and they don't want people hanging out there. And we're talking 3 months ago. That's when I got the general manager and I said, hey, look, these folks are responsible, but this is a perfect place to hang out and share a great single malt whiskey. And he's like, that's just a policy, not a rule. And I see what you guys are doing and we're going to allow it. I was like, bam. So, because it's perfect. Wait till you guys see it. So as long as we don't get too loud, that's the only. I don't mean screaming and just talking. It could get louder, but we'll be careful.
Well, Captain Make It Happen says that Matt's house is the worst/best influence on his whiskey purchases. LOL.
Ooh, really?
Kyle Clement asks about what I think of the Spaniard. Just got it. I've tried it a couple of times. It's very good. It really reminds me a lot of Macallan 12. If you like Macallan 12, you'll like the Spaniard. I haven't gone side by side, but I think the blend is the Spaniard's coming in a little bit lighter, a little bit sweeter, but still a lot of the same similar sherry notes.
Wow. Now, see, I used to go down to Dallas every year for that big board game convention. Now I want to go down there for Matt's tastings.
Oh, yeah. Well, and he lives, remember when we came back from Austin, we stopped by my cousin's place in Grand Prairie. I think he said he lives about 15 miles from there.
Oh, wow.
So probably some. Well, and when we've talked about, or we will be going to Denison, Texas, at the first part of December to Iron Root.
Iron Root.
And he may come up there and hang with us up there too, which he had. Robert came down to his place for a tasting a few weeks ago as well from Iron Root.
Sweet. I think Whiskey Dick threw something out there about a die 20 persuasion roll or something. It was like a Dungeons and Dragons reference. I got nothing against role playing.
You rolled a natty 20 on
Natty
persuasion.
20. That's all right.
That sounds like Whiskey Dick's involved in his own Crisco or something, rolling in a natty 20.
I'd bring in a feat of strength, baby. Mandelbaum. Oh, let's see. What?
No, Kyle Clement says, sounds great. It's about the same price as the Mac 12 as well. Yep, it is. Yeah. And actually it's the story of the Spaniard is the actual name of the whiskey. It's I think it's becoming one of their core. It will be in the core range as well. I think it's going to be a regular release.
I'll tell you. See, this is what I'm learning the rules for that right now. PAX Emancipation. You're talking like 80 pages of rules for that bad boy.
We can actually, when we get done with this stream, you can go live on your board game channel to talk about it.
Bam. I could do that.
All right, let's shut her down, Bart. We're a little over the hour mark. And actually I need to pour. I gotta.
What? You got to pack some Emancipation?
I gotta end with a drink.
Oh, look at that. What are you pulling out of the back there? You knew like that was there.
Same I had, the Auchentoshan and 3 wood. Just gonna pour. It was really going down pretty good. Really sweet, really smooth.
Mandelbaum. Kevin knows what we're talking about. Jesse says basically he's going to see us Thursday or Friday. Boom.
The Scotch for Dummies will be down early. I think they said they're getting in about noon as well. Sounds like about the same time as Eric. So I told them we'd for sure try to be doing some live stream with them early Friday afternoon.
I'm digging Kevin. He said it's go time. I'll do that at work all the time, and people just look at me funny. They'll say something. I'll be like, it's go time. And they're like, huh? I forget I'm getting old.
Now, what's that actor's name though? Did
you say Christopher Lloyd?
Well, I was gonna say Chris Lloyd, and then I about said Christopher. It's not Christopher Lloyd. His last name is Lloyd.
Oh, someone's gonna throw it on there.
Yep, Mandelbaum,
and then his sons keep coming on, and they all look like they're in their 70s. God, how'd they come up with that? It's just hilarious.
All right, let's wrap her up. Everybody, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Next time you see us, I think we'll be live with folks you're seeing virtual right now.
We will be, there's going to be a lot of them will be here. We'll be live on our channel. I imagine we'll go live on the Scotch for Dummies channel, maybe on Eric Waite's channel as well. Whiskey Scout is going to be here. Cousin Shane will be singing. Shakes Pennington on the guitar.
Boom. I'm going to come in, slap down my 50 and say, I'm out. Woo.
All right, Bart.
Woo. Hey, real quick, Travis H. says, Scott, do you know if you still have number 205 cask 4 coin left? Number 205. Just make a note.
I can tell you.
Travis H. No, 206. Travis H. 205. I don't know. He's going back and forth. I have cask 1 from Whistle Pig Farm Stock.
I do. I have 204 and 205. Someone else has the cask 3 ones, but they haven't ordered cask 4 yet, so they are up for sale. 204 and 205 both. 206 is gone.
Got it. All right.
So you can, if you want, you can order on the website and then put in the notes or the comments which number you want.
My hat got hot. I had to shed it. Are you ready?
Yes.
Scotch it, you Scotch gods.
Cilantro. Dummies.
Woohoo. He says 2:05.